Okay.
What's new? Susie, can you look at my um at my store and check my wording?
Where is that now?
Not now.
No,
Oh.
but can you? I'll send it to you. Were you taking my test with Erica? My braid test, looking at braid art and getting good images start to finish. I realized that like it's bigger than the process of the appointments. Like on some wanting to revisit the images or things in my phone that just include people with braids or stories that I've already taken to look at it in a different way. Additional to wanting to sketch out the things that I need to do, like the projects that I want to start now.
You said that's bigger than the appointments? I'm trying to...
The braid art, like photography, pictures, I feel like it's bigger than when we in there for them couple hours. Like is setting up things after that, is taking them other places, is setting up shoots with the hair done, is additional than more than just them appointments. Like when I'm looking at it.
Gotcha. So what does that mean about the test that you took?
With the test that I took, I did, it made me realize that like what I'm looking for ain't just in this time frame.
Gotcha.
For what my vision is for braid art for me. Is like when my mom would be doing my sister hair or when I did her hair and then I got her doing something different, and when me and Erica be chilling and we be going to the hair store and we be chopping it and we be like it's not just these appointments, I realized.
Gotcha.
And like I could see it like where I want to go next with it, which is like my little update.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Because when you said that I'll be able to, what you looking for, Susie, a pen? When I can see it with different eyes, it's gonna be a whole different experience. It's like, oh, this ain't it. This ain't all of it.
Right.
Me doing hair, me setting up things of that nature definitely is needed. Of me photographing myself while I'm doing hair in some way, shape, or form is one part of it. But the additional, the setting up the shoots, the chilling and then just shooting is another part of it that needs to be explored.
Gotcha.
Like I'm really
Yeah, no, that's good.
play with all of it. I ordered a mirror so I can be able to see the back of my head so I can do my own fucking hair. I sent the girl that from TikTok, Erica, and this other little girl that be braiding hair. I sent them all my braid essentials just to get a little feedback. And the one girl told me I be using all this stuff. The other girl told me I'm adding to my favorites. I need to check back in with her. I did my first voiceover. It was not bad at all. It made me want to do another. It made me want to do another.
Hey, look, it's like it was not bad at all.
Little Moesha.
Like this shit is just like, hey, this is what the fuck I'm doing right here. And I had to redo it or whatever a couple times, and there was some parts where I was like, I don't sound like that for real. And then I realized like, oh, I need to add some music to it. And then it was like every time that I thought that it was something that I needed to do, I did that thing and it came out. For
And
my
then
first-
you're able to edit the audio just like you cut the video.
I
Yeah.
did. I figured that out while
Yeah.
I was doing it because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I had to just record that
All one
all the way
take?
through.
No.
I said, "Oh, this is crazy." So I would go back and I would hit it, but then I would be like, "Damn, my voice sound different." So let me try to match the volumes, and then it was like that type of stuff was coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's dope. That's good. Did you post the voiceover video?
Yes, I did.
Gotcha.
I still need to post part 3, but I posted part 1 and part 2 at 2 different times.
And when you posting Instagram and TikTok?
Yes. On TikTok, I was able to put the whole video, but on Instagram, I'm only able to put a minute and 30 seconds. When I thought I could do an IG live type video, and I could put more than
No,
that.
if you post it as a post on Instagram,
Okay.
it can be, I think, about 15 minutes, maybe
Gotcha.
10 minutes.
So that's the thing I did.
The reel has to only be a minute and 30 seconds. So when you post it as a reel, it'll trim it.
And then I did the first minute and 30 seconds. Then I tried to find the second one, and now I'm gonna go back in and post it.
And then also what you could do is you can, as a post, you can take a longer video and cut it up into smaller pieces and post it as a carousel
in Instagram or that's
in Instagram.
Got you.
You know, so sometimes,
Like a minute long, so then they would let you swipe.
right, yeah, you could swipe, but it could be longer than a minute.
Got you.
See, a post on Instagram can be longer than a minute and 30 seconds. So sometimes what I've seen is I've seen people post a carousel that's got a 1 minute video, a 3 minute video, a 4 minute video, a 2 minute video.
But it's keeping you engaged.
Yep,
So you
from,
want to swipe.
yeah, so you swiping, yep, so you swiping. But realistically, you can post, I think, a 10 to 15 minute video on Instagram if it's as a post, which means it ain't playing through the algorithm like a reel does.
Okay.
You know, reels is its own thing, which means the way it's being engaged is plays. You know, when you post it as a post versus a reel, you don't get the same play analytic.
Yes.
You see accounts reached, you see impressions, but it ain't got plays.
When you post as a post
Yeah.
versus a reel.
Yep.
And then it's like my page be getting heavily in fucking engagements, but I only went up 4 followers.
It ain't about followers. You gonna have to. It's gonna be a mental shift.
Not to care about that number.
You ain't gonna get followers until you are investing in marketing what you selling.
Gotcha.
Which means stop worrying about followers. You got enough followers now to figure out how to create a system to generate $1 per follower per month.
Yes. And a good one.
So think about it. You can gain 10,000 followers tomorrow, right?
But if they bring
And you ain't figured out how to make no money off of it. Which means build the infrastructure to generate the money before you start worrying about followers. Because technically followers are going to turn into leads if we talking business. Mm-hmm. The possibility of making money. What are you doing to throw your net out there to possibly reel somebody in? Well, what's going to happen is once you put in $10, $20, $50, $100 to a post because you're trying to sell one of your digital products, you spending that $100 to generate more leads. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, it's just a follower, meaning I got followers, I got more followers. It's playing the popularity contest. Forget the popularity contest. You want to go on and restructure your ground level infrastructure. And the fact that you got a free digital product that you're giving away, you got people engaging with it. At the point where you start using your digital product that's free as your talking points,
Yeah.
then you're going to have content that's even more specific to your digital product. And then it'll be time to put money on that stuff because you're going to start to watch that engagement. You know? Mm-hmm. But you got to forget about the followers.
Okay.
I went through a period of thinking, oh, you got to get a lot of followers. And then I realized, like, okay, every time I post, I lose followers.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
And now when I post, I don't lose followers. And little by little, I'm talking 6 months, I just get random followers. And I ain't never just got random followers. My followers would either be no followers at all, or I put up a post of like putting up a mural or something, and then I'll put $5 or $10 on it, and then that'll generate me new followers. But them people unfollow me when they realize that my page is about helping people figure out who their true self is. You know what I'm saying? This ain't an entertainment page. I'm not here just to entertain and show people what I'm capable of doing.
Right.
So then them people is unfollowing. So my followers ain't going down, and they really only going up little by little. You know, 2 followers here, 5 followers here, 1 follower here. But I also ain't invested no money in marketing towards new leads.
Whatever the new thing is you want to give them.
Right, because I was giving myself a solid 6 months of posting and getting a real serious posting system, which is going to give me 6 months of content that I can reflush through my page.
Got you.
Once I figure out, oh, I want it black and white. Oh, I want the opacity down. I want the letters white. I want them in this font. Here go my captions. So I'm like developing my system. And I was giving myself 6 months before I organize all of the posts that I did for 6 months and just flood them through a second time. You know?
So don't worry about the followers.
Yeah, don't worry about the followers. And it's this long game. You know what I'm saying? This ain't short game activity. This is changing your perception to how you seeing the social media tool.
Yep.
Right. And what helps you do that?
Change your perception of it.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, is there anything or something powerful, useful, beneficial to not having or caring about social media? Because I'm just not doing a good job of
You say, is it anything beneficial to not caring?
or having or wanting or
Like you're not interested in posting or none of that shit. So you're trying to figure out.
and it's not really that I'm not interested, or maybe it is that I'm not interested, which is why I'm not doing it. So is there any
Benefit to not doing it?
Especially with the world going to
I don't believe there's a benefit to not engaging on social media as a marketing tool if you're an artist, an entrepreneur, or an educator. I think it's no benefit to not doing it.
I think you need to have more fun with it though. Like that thing you posted this morning, that swipe about artists and they wrote on chalk and it's just like you ain't found the thing that keep you having fun with it. Like you ain't.
yeah, for real.
Well, and I think it's got to do with a belief system.
In what way?
I think people who don't heavily engage in social media, who's an artist, an educator, or an entrepreneur, they don't believe that this is the solution for what they're trying to figure out for their work, for their business, or for what they teach.
Do you think that?
I used to.
No,
You know
Susie.
me?
Oh,
No, I don't think that, but I was just
you don't you?
I asked that because I think I was listening to something at some point, and I don't remember who the writer is, but she's a big writer. And they were talking about how she doesn't have social media.
Right, but what makes her big?
She's like a best-selling author.
Which means what?
She has a different audience.
Somebody is tapped into her following. Her following is based on being a best-selling author. Right? So she ain't trying to figure out how to build her following because
She has a thing.
she paying somebody to build her following.
So you saying she don't have no social media? You can't find her nowhere.
No. Oh, you
Yeah,
said
she don't have no social media.
Right.
That's what the article was about.
Right.
She don't have nothing. Older white woman.
right. So my thought to somebody who's a best-selling author who don't have no social media, imagine if she did. Because she already got a following
Right.
that she don't got direct access to. And even as a best-selling author, even if you're not the person that want to engage, because you ain't got to give your work away on social media at all. But if you're looking at it from a business standpoint,
So-
you're not looking at it as a post. You're not looking at it as a like. You're not looking at follows.
Yeah.
You're looking at it as marketing.
Like, I enjoy my videos way more now than I ever did. And in which I be watching them bitches. I
Right.
be looking at them. I be trying to figure out what to do next. Like,
Right. So you look, it's like looking at, it's like having a business and having the budget to be able to put it on television and not using television to market
Gotcha.
when it's right there in front of you. Or you can invest in somebody doing it for you. You know? So I don't see the benefit in not doing it, even though I don't think you have to do it to be successful.
Right.
You know? But wherever it's going, digital economics, digital economy, creator economy, online education, one-person businesses, technology, where it's going, the people who don't get in rhythm are going to see that it was a mistake once it gets to where it's going.
All your favorite people be on there.
Her favorite people don't.
YouTube, like, that's what I'm thinking about. Or not the
But just imagine if Jasmine
writers, though.
Ward had all of her own recorded footage of every reading that she did,
Right.
and could engage her audience under her own control.
Cause is that part hard? The trying to figure out how not to give the shit away, but also wanting to engage with it.
That's part of it.
That was hard for me. What part to keep and what part to throw away?
Give away old stuff.
Right. But why
But I
haven't
just-
we yet?
I don't know. That's my next question. How do you practice or get good at commitment?
Well, I think what happens is we go back to belief. I think the first thing is you gotta be clear that you don't believe that this is the answer. Because if you believe that it was the answer, you would do it. Which means you're not doing it. So that says that you don't believe that this is the answer. So every time you're doing it, you actually doubting it, questioning it, and second guessing whether it's even worth doing or not.
That's crazy.
So you can't experiment, play, explore until you change the belief. I argue that the 35 and ups were brought up to believe that I'm going to make it perfect. And once I get it right, I'm going to show everybody. Or they are going to find me and they are going to put me in front of everybody. That's what I believe is the difference between 35 and up and 34 and under. 34 and unders is like I can put myself in front of as many people as my effort allows me. And I can do it right now. And I think the finding a balance between those two perspectives is the healthiest thing somebody can do. And if it's no longer about the popularity contest or the I'm better than you contest, and it's a business with a product to sell, the best marketing for any business, service, knowledge, education, advice is social media. It's the most affordable marketing But a lot of us not spending $10 on a post. A lot of us not spending $100 on a post just to see how the thing works. But once you do that and you have a service, knowledge, product for sale, you're like, oh, that's crazy. I put that money on that post. More people saw it. And then I got emails for one of my services. It was like, oh, the money that I'm spending did turn into money. So it's like it's shifting a belief system and shifting the perception that's attached to the belief system. It's marketing. How are you marketing your business? How are you marketing your work? You know, getting published in a journal, in a magazine, paying for a spread in the magazine is marketing. Paying money to enter the competition for your work to be in front of an audience is you marketing your work.
So now I'm transferring that to this other world.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's seeing it as an extension, not a replacement.
Gotcha.
It's an extension. This is another, like if you had a yearly marketing budget for yourself as an artist or an entrepreneur or as an educator, and that marketing budget was $500, where you gonna spend your $500 at? You know what I'm saying? You gonna get a billboard, you gonna get a TV commercial, you gonna get, you know what I'm saying? You gonna go to whatever the local art magazine is and pay for a double page spread. You're gonna pay to get on the cover of the Horizon. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, but you might as well take some of that 500 and pay 50 to put it on the Cleveland Remembrance page. If you know that that's your 200,000 people, that's your audience right there. Because they ain't even about to ever go to Barnes & Noble to get the book off the shelf when it come out as a bestseller. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're marketed to let them know that that's where you can go get it from. So I feel like the first phase for me was to shift my mindset. And the process that I went through to shift my mindset from being a non-believer to working towards being a believer, that this is one of the contributing solutions to marketing and me having more exposure and a wider audience, was for me to build a habit of learning a platform. That was the first thing that I did. Forget, is this gonna change my life? Forget, am I gonna go viral? Forget, am I posting the right thing or the wrong thing? If my captions is correct, grammatically correct, spelled right, fuck all that. Let me build a habit of posting. Because if I can build a habit of posting, if you can build a habit of posting, you're automatically gonna start to learn how it works. Because once you start learning how it works, then your imagination can start to see how it can work for you. And even if you don't physically want to do it, you realize that there's systems in place for it to be done for you if you just want to make that financial investment. So to me, shifting the mindset, I said that it was step one. It wasn't step one. That was step two. Step one was creating content.
You got that.
Because the creation of content became so overwhelming, I needed an outlet for it. And this is the thing, your overwhelming amount of content, you don't gotta see it. It's being preserved for you. So you don't pop that open and see all of the footage. You see some, you see the ones that got shared, you see the ones you might play with, and then you probably don't look at it because it's probably overwhelming. But being overwhelmed by content will send you on a journey of figuring out, where can I find a release of this and what to give away and what to keep. You get to grow into it. And you realize that when you post something and you only get 3 likes and you only get 30 impressions, guess what? Nobody saw it. Post it again. It's not like I posted the wrong thing and everybody hated it. You know what I'm saying? Because the commercials that we watch, that we memorize, the songs and the messages, they play all day. The commercials and the advertisements on the music.
Us all day.
Exactly.
That's why I'm trying not to feel bad about
Engaging.
and consistently.
Consistently engaging, because what happens is we've already been conditioned to receive information in a certain way. And one of those ways we receive information is repeatedly.
Yes.
And we start off possibly not liking the information. And after we are engaged with it so much, even if we think we don't like it, we've memorized it. We recognize it. It's familiar to us. And now we at the store randomly and they don't got what we do want. And we buy the thing that we done memorized based on it being in front of us all the time. So that's the conditioning system of how we are kind of bombarded with information. You don't need 100,000 followers. You need 500 followers who are your clients. Because if you got 100,000 followers who expect you to perform versus are ready to invest in what you have to share, you on the wrong side of it.
Yep.
And then if you recognize all of your followers as people you know, that's playing a role in the discomfort in what you put out. See, when you sit there and realize that you sending this stuff out and strangers are engaging, you're more comfortable. It's like, oh, they like that. Oh, let me show this person. Let me show her this one. And then you realize that, yeah, and she engaged again. And she shared it on her story again. You want more of her.
She saved it.
She saved it. She shared it. She commented. She liked it. She responded when you sent her a message. Yeah, this is the free version of my digital information. What you think? It's like building a relationship on the platforms. Like literally.
She all the way in North Carolina.
Right. And then you realize like, oh, hey, I'm about to be in town for this workshop, for this retreat, for this, whatever the case. It's kind of magical.
They gonna do the pictures talking about, I need to figure out how to get there. Like, right. Come on. You only in Cincinnati? This other girl. You gonna let something to work for or work towards.
Right. So that's the long answer to your question. Well, you gotta put yourself in a process that helps you shift your beliefs. So it ain't even just believing. Don't even believe.
See what that shit do.
Give yourself a routine and watch your belief start to shift. I mean, my belief system when it comes to social media and posting just was going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. But the thing that never went away was my desire to accumulate content in relationship to the artwork that I'm making. I've been doing it before social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that it was going to be a place for me to show this people stuff. I thought this was all going to be in the documentary. You know what I'm saying? Because the system had already taught us that you get the B-roll footage when you're doing the stuff, and then they come out with a documentary to show your whole life once you're about to die and you get accepted. You know what I'm saying? And American Idol came and said, hey, you know what? We're about to take you on this journey from this person standing in line at this city trying to audition to this competition to them on the biggest stage after however many weeks. And here go the album because they won. So let's make it platinum right now. Like that is the process. We grew up on Star Search. We wanted to apply for Star Search and the Apollo. We was waiting to be discovered.
Now it's right here.
Now you don't gotta wait to be discovered. You know, you can actually share what you doing and who you are
And niggas relate.
as a business right now. You don't gotta show people what you're eating. You know, some people who are very successful on social media has made their personal life like a reality show and a part of their brand. But it's still to sell whatever the heck it is they selling. They ain't tuning you into their inner world and inner life with nothing to sell. It's just not happening.
That's why whatever we doing individually still relates to whatever the goal is together at the end.
Yep.
That's why Cleveland Girl Status, Ballast Boys Studios, a Black Poet, Warrior Light,
Right.
30 Stitches is no different.
Yeah, and that's why you hear the backstory of successful individuals or influential individuals, and you realize that they was all connected behind the scenes and you didn't even know it. And it's like, oh, but that makes sense because this person featured on this person's album and this person featured on that person's album, so it would make sense. They got a kid together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And guess what? If they would have had social media when that was happening, we would have knew about it. The way we know about current music entertainment world. We know currently their reality TV show that's happening by way of social media, but it's marketing.
Yeah, because even when they be on them shows, you go follow their page, then you go through their life with them.
And think about it. What most entertainers and music artists have done is these people have figured out what their tour was. The actors are famous because the tour is ultimately the movie when it comes out. And it hits every theater in every city. Guess what? Now their face is familiar. Meaning now they can go into any city and say, hey, y'all, what's up? This is what I'm doing. Music artists, they tour. They tour to sell the albums. But guess what? After they done went on 5 years, 50 city tours, now they can sell anything because they've built their following. So the question becomes, what are you going to do to build your following? You know? That's what make me say we should bust a lap through the spoken word poetry scene. Not for any other reason than to accumulate the footage. Because the footage is almost more valuable than the actual thing that happened. Because the tour can happen on social media. It becomes another destination for the tour. The 3 pieces of content, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. LaRussell said it. He said, first I committed to 1 piece of content a day and then started thinking that's 365 pieces of content. So if I start doing 5 a day, then now I'm at 1,500 in a year. And if I put 1,500 pieces of content out in a year, somebody who appreciates what I'm doing is going to see it. It was that. It was a math problem. He just created a mathematical equation. And he had 35 and under. So his mindset is different. He was born into the viral moment. You know? Yeah. We getting our information from the news, MTV News, what happened, BET, you know, our culture. If it didn't make CNN, if it didn't make, you know, then Sports Center, we start seeing our news happen, pop culture news happen on Sports Center. So it's still the way we engage. These are the channels. Oh, it hit the radio. You know what I'm saying? It hit the Time Journal, Warner, whatever show in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you look at our media outlets how we engage, that's how we was getting the information. That's how the information was spreading.
Okay.
And then as social media, as MySpace, Facebook, these platforms came, we would get viral information via emails. We was getting the video that everybody watching now on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. We was getting it in an email.
Mm-mm.
And you was getting it in an email chain. Because there was no platform. There was no place for this stuff to go. The information was spreading through the people, but it wasn't no one place to go to be able to type in this information, these videos. That's what make the platforms kind of so revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you know where everybody at. See, social media is like the mall. You know where everybody at and what time they gonna be there. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The different platforms is like the stores. And each store caters to caters to a different audience. You want short form, you want long form.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You want it to be in the business world. You want this to be unfiltered, uncensored. You want this to be family oriented. You want this to be video. You want this all text. You know? But if I'm a business person, I know right where to take my product because I know what store everybody at in the mall.
Or what app everybody on?
Well, that's the app. The app is the store in the mall.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Some shit hit harder on TikTok. Some shit hit harder on Instagram.
With different people.
Yep. Then
60 and ups, go to Facebook.
YouTube. That long ass shit.
YouTube is like the encyclopedia.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't looking A to Z, looking in the book to figure out this information. You don't gotta buy the how-to Photoshop books. You don't gotta buy the how-to screen print from Michaels.
Mm-mm.
Because that's how we was paying for education if you wasn't in a school setting before. You bought the how-to. Well, guess what? You buy the how-to now. It's just gonna download right to your phone. Or you can save it, on YouTube. What other questions did you have?
Mm-hmm. Those were the two that I had. I don't know. I'm just trying to.
So what's your takeaway from what's being said?
It's kind of like shifting my mindset up just a bit, because it's not that I don't believe, but I don't remind myself, or that's not where I'm starting. Like,
But I got a question for you. What's your name?
Allie,
How do you know that?
is everybody call me that and I said it?
So you believe that that's your name?
Yes.
Do you have to remind yourself that that's your name?
No.
Because you
No.
you believe it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to remind yourself, it's because you don't believe. Because once you believe it, you no longer have to remind yourself.
Okay.
So the first thing you got to do is you got to be honest where you are, which is, oh, I don't believe that this is the answer because I'm not acting like I believe it. And then at some point, you start to ask yourself, why don't I want to believe it? And it's like, oh no, I want to believe that this is the answer.
Right.
I want to believe that this is going to satisfy some of what I got going. You know? Because once you're honest with yourself about the fact that you don't believe, then your behavior will change. It's like, oh, I don't believe this shit, but I want to see. So I'm about to just start creating some routines so I can learn it. Because I don't know.
You resonate with that?
Yeah.
You know? And what I did might not work for somebody else because my temperament for engaging with information that I question, I got a high tolerance for it.
Like even if you even if it make you a little uncomfortable, you still do it.
Yes.
Versus the person that if it makes them a little bit uncomfortable, they don't do it.
Yes. Like I told myself I'm going to watch Danko videos until I believe it. And I was watching 1 or 2 a day. To the point where it was like, oh, okay, now I don't need to watch it no more like this. Like I'm not trying to be convinced. But I needed to go through a process of convincing myself. So I have it as an option. See, because before you convince that this is something that you should do, it's not an option on the table to help you because you ain't convinced. So it's like, okay, so can I think of something that I didn't believe or I wasn't convinced by? And then I look up and down the line, I'm convinced. So it's like taking yourself through a process, take yourself through the convincing process.
Through exploration. Or you got to do that before you can get there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because you ain't going, the taking yourself through the process of convincing yourself is the exploration process.
That's one of them.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. And if you can think of something if you can think of something you experienced where your belief went from one place to another, it means you already went through the process of it. At one point, we was trying to figure out why you ain't got no iPhone. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't try to figure out if you should get it.
Right.
At some point, you said, let me get it so I can see what I think and what I feel about it.
Now we got everything.
And it was kind of like,
Then I went bonkers. I believed it.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't trying to figure it out. It wasn't liking it. It was throwing yourself all the way in. You went right from this to this one. And now all you can do is use this one. So now you forced to learn it, use it, build an opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, oh, okay, well, I know how this benefits me. I know how this works for me. Because you didn't really give yourself a choice or an option.
Okay.
So it's repeating that process of not giving yourself an option. And it's simple. It's okay, I'm about to engage with this in these kind of ways for this amount of time and see where I'm at in 90 days.
90?
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? 30 days.
Okay.
But it's really letting yourself explore. And not exploring for likes, for follows, for shares, for the solution of building an audience. No, it's just sitting there like, let me stop using the platforms as a consumer. because somebody else is actually marketing to me right now. This stuff is coming on my timeline. This stuff is coming on your timeline. It's coming on your feed based on how you're engaging with it. So if you want to see it in a different way, you got to engage with it in a different way. And then the information that's coming towards you will help you start to convince yourself. Literally. Because that's what all of the posts about to start talking to you about. That's what the posts about to start saying to you. That's what the people popping up gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You an artist, educator, entrepreneur, and more things. This is made for you. Whether you believe it or not. You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm out there over here making my posts. Stay consistent, stay committed.
And
Have fun.
the sweetest thing about it is look at it as a documentation tool. Look at it like a journal. Look at it like a sketchbook. Look at it like a portfolio. Look at it like an organization system.
Because when you get on there, you'll be doing a one thing, and then you don't do nothing else. Like you ain't having fun with it.
Susie, I know.
Okay, because you about to post another one of them.
I'm about to post what I want to post
Oh, okay.
to help me.
Get started.
Yes.
Yep. And then you should try to post what you're scared to post.
And you should create a little folder of things in your phone that you already have that you would love to post. I have a ready to post folder.
Yep.
In my phone.
That might be what you might need to start doing too.
Yep. You need to create
You might need to start with your albums and start
making albums.
Sorting and start seeing what you already have, and you don't have to remake these things, and you don't got to
I'm getting my poems.
go screenshot your tweets already, like all of that, like something new.
Because you are a content creator.
And you are a hell of a person. You have a hell of a style.
Like you making the content. You in the mirror, you taking the pictures, you in the bathroom, you recording clips. It ain't that you ain't accumulating the footage, because you are.
The world just never see it.
So you might need to make you some albums.
In my phone?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And all those quotes you made should be in an album.
Yeah, like I should be able to swipe through one post and then this one lead to that one, lead to this one, lead to that one. Huh?
Like a carousel of the post?
You should create a carousel with those
quotes
tweets that you have already made on Canva. Like that shouldn't just be a one thing and then it be gone. It's that mixed with your blue journal, mixed with your purple, like things something that relate in a way.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And definitely maybe starting with that list of what are you scared to post.
You got a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure out how the fuck you gonna say all of it.
You might even cry.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't feel like anyone has done what you are in position to do.
Look at that. Look at that shit right there. Like, look.
You could just take a picture and post that if you wanted to.
Like, what?
Like,
Your notes from what's the name? Da 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 da.
That's all.
Sisterhood from 324.
That was on this.
And the reason why the reason why you have to do it?
Oh yeah, you definitely gotta do it.
You know why you gotta do it?
Why?
Because you won't let nobody else do it.
Yeah, I'd be scared to post content of you. Cause you be dogging me, you be like, make sure you send it to me first, then I get anxiety.
I never say that. No
Yes,
more.
you did.
She said no more.
You said I posted something. You was like, yeah, next time you post, make sure you send it to me, and then I just got anxiety. Probably a couple months ago.
Girl, no, it was not.
Yo, how you remember?
Because I know it's been a long time.
And you you let anxiety drive my car, so I just wanted to know.
I don't care. You can post me.
Until I post you.
I want you to post your hairstyles. My hairstyles be cute.
No, I want to post when we be having fun during her appointments or what the fuck we go through before we get our hair done.
The alley that nobody know. You know, the real alley, the whole alley, you know?
Like, we are a hell of a duo, so when we be together, it just be like the world just need to see that your friends don't gotta be your age. You know, get somebody that fucking love you.
That's a t-shirt.
Right. Your friends
yes,
do
we
not
should really make content about
being friends at 2 different ages.
Yes, because people always got some shit to say.
And that goes into Cleveland Girl Status, which goes into
100%.
Sisterhood 2.0. So that's why we need you to get started so that we can slide into other shit.
Okay.
Right. All you got to do is focus on the higher thing, the highest thing.
And which ultimately is what? When you say that.
The relationship.
Yes.
You know, communication.
Yes.
You know, if people could witness what y'all get to experience with each other.
Because I know for a fact that I want to tap into the other part of me that the world don't get to see besides Brayton, learning, figuring out, going through type shit. But them conversations going to come from these conversations.
Okay, so y'all said make a folder?
Yep. Make you an album.
Shit that speak to you, ready to post. Sort them by, okay, I remember when I had that show. That show was raw as fuck.
You should definitely have a folder with readings.
Like,
because that's really where, even if you only gonna do audio and you're gonna do text and we only hear your voice, you gonna pull them from those videos, which means every video you got in your phone of you reading should be in that folder called readings. Because once you start to organize the footage, it's gonna make it easier.
You don't need to do that right now. You probably need to take your notes back.
What she was doing, making an album?
Yeah.
No, make you an album.
Make an album.
Yeah, make an album. What did you call it?
I said social media ready. No?
You probably won't use that. Make another album.
Well, I didn't make that one yet. I didn't press save, so.
Make an album and call it Quotes.
Quotes.
And when they put all your quotes in there.
Right.
And then the readings.
Yep, make an album and call it Readings.
Wait, it's asking me to add these?
No.
Well, these are quotes that I just made.
Well, I like that color too.
So add them?
Yeah.
Click that last one before you go. You missed 2. Okay.
Do I add it to albums?
Just add. Yep. So now you see that you done made it and it's in there. So now you go
Now
to
make
your
a new
second
one.
one.
Yep.
And call it readings?
Yep.
You're not gonna read the
This one I don't have any.
Well, no, just keep it.
Hers not letting her like make the album and then nothing. Like hers is telling her to make the album, add something, and then it'll pick the ad. You see all this gray, so it ain't letting her make it.
Scroll.
And find one.
Yeah, scroll. Yeah, flood. Just
you gonna read Instagram that poem or that or what you wrote about that sunshine and then I look at my sister and that nigga was going.
God, that phone. That phone is so old. Ooh. Oops.
this was a good shop. We'll only be needing a couple to spark.
I ain't had no reading in a long time, boys and sisters. I don't have that. I should really do it.
Right, but you already know when was the last time you had a reading?
I can't think off the top of my head.
Didn't we send video to something for something? Where you kept recording it upstairs?
Is that thing that she just did on that PowerPoint or not that?
What PowerPoint?
That I said you should post on Instagram.
Well, she was reading Kinsman.
No, she was reading. What you was reading?
I don't know what you're doing. I never did it on my PowerPoint.
On that laptop this morning.
Oh.
That don't relate to that, but I'm
that
just saying.
essay?
Well, I don't even know
What you was
it
talking
is.
about with Aspire,
What were you talking about?
where you had to do the Loom video.
That board meeting.
Yeah.
And you should share that PowerPoint that you took to that other state.
Oh, when I went to
Talk about how
And
to
didn't
engage
re-
with black girls.
and didn't record it. After she said, I promise I'm gonna record it.
You ain't going no friends. Oh, it's just you and JoJo.
Right, but all she had to do was say, hey, record this for me.
Mm.
But I said you could just ask the person that's right there in the front row. Especially, hey, can you record this? Or hey, y'all, I'll record myself. You ain't about to get the footage. Where y'all videographer at? How you gonna get it to me? Gmail? What kind of camera you got? You know what I'm saying? I need this. You getting it? Why can't I get it?
Or seeing who was recording it, and that's what you mean, seeing who was recording it in the
Or just saying, hey, can you record this for me? I go into a classroom. Hey, which one of y'all content creators? Who on YouTube? Who want to be a YouTuber? Mm-hmm. Hey, here go my phone. I need the footage. I don't know what I'm about to say. I'm about to black out. I'm about to say all this stuff. Y'all gonna either love it or you gonna hate it. Either way, you gonna walk away. You might not ever see me again. You might remember this for the rest of your life. You might forget it as soon as you get to lunch. The reality is, I need to see what the heck is going on too. Yep. And we so camera friendly. It's like, hey, record this for me, please.
Okay, I got quotes and I got readings.
What else would you make an album of?
Well, what's the other? What's the other? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, what about like journals or
that would be dope.
Dope.
Handwriting.
What you looking at?
Because I'm gonna have to take a picture or something to make the damn album.
Yep. And don't even think about it. Just take a picture and use the picture to study what's on there.
You taking that long?
No, you're just taking your time, honey.
Okay, now album.
And it's funny because that might be your 3 forms of content.
Handwriting.
Easily.
Especially because the other things probably don't got footage with it. Because natural, like it was a couple of things in my head that came, but they probably don't come down. They probably don't have.
So I got handwriting, footage. Quotes, and readings.
Yep. See, because to me, you figure out what you already have an abundance of. Because that's the daily post. And then you make new stuff in between that. But if you was gonna get you a virtual assistant and pay $6 an hour, you want to be able to give them so much stuff that they're never gonna get finished with it. Even if you do other things in between. So it's what's in the archive, what do you have the most of, and what's the stuff you want to make and experiment and play with. And then you should be posting all 3. But until you play with it, you ain't gonna get a feel for what you want it to actually be, you know? Or how you want the quotes to appear. And if you find out how you want them to appear, it's like, okay, now you can play with what the quotes are. The quotes don't even gotta be limited to the book. The quotes can start to be part of the essay. The quotes can be some of the tweets. The quotes can be at a Q&A, something that you said in response, but now you know that you like it in the form of text on a color, and then you start putting that in there. You know? You gotta play. And you gotta be honest with yourself that you're a non-believer. Who wants to be a believer? Because it's gonna benefit you to be a believer. It's like this is like the modern day time capsule.
You might need to tap it or scoot back just a little bit. Literally the modern day time capsule.
$60. Bam. This was good. This was a good conversation.
What you working on? You good?
Yeah, what I'm working on. What I'm always working on, everything. But more than anything, I think the thing that I don't talk about a lot of that I'm working on is the knowledge-based products and facilitating the conversations and the discussions and to be in settings that's more conversation, podcast, artist, entrepreneur, educator, self-actualization, true self, you know?
How you setting them up and having them?
Yeah. Yep. Because this stuff ain't never been this clear. I ain't never been able to just go to the book that I use or need as a reference to talk about a specific. I couldn't see all of this information in an organized fashion. So the process of the last, I mean, really since January, has been helping me organize the information that I share. And be able to label and identify what that information is and what it's about.
You just got so serious and sat back into the. That's crazy.
So one of the things I'm always working on is what this conversation is usually me. Our conversations is me actively working on what I'm supposed to be working on.
Gotcha.
And I shouldn't be on. If I'm on social media, I should be posting, not scrolling.
You should be researching and not just
Scrolling.
Yes. Because this is the thing, even if you scrolling,
you can consume the good stuff.
right, you can, yeah, you taking in information, spit it back out.
What do you like?
What was your thought about what you just engaged with? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't somebody who just looking at just random stuff. The stuff that you engage in on social media as a audience member, you have a very profound perspective on what you're engaging with that you sit with. So take it in to spit it back out. It's the same thing we talking about with you reading. You shouldn't be reading without reading and spitting more information back out. You shouldn't be only consuming. You should be consuming and sharing simultaneously all the time. You take it in, put it back out. In one of your ways that you share information.
And trying those stuff that you see that you like.
Like, so if you see a post format, if you see a carousel, here's 5 quotes that made me think of when I was a child, you know?
That quote that you posted earlier,
Right.
that whole series worth of work, but you could pull out the arsenal of being an artist that's being rejected and fucking still doing this shit and figuring out how to not let that disrupt
Right.
the ability to give.
And that woman is a writer.
Yeah.
But she ain't posting her books.
Right.
But she's building her following around artists, primarily writers. So when it's time for the book to come out, she's marketing it to 500,000 people.
Right. That's how many she got?
Yes. And it ain't that the book ain't published, which means whoever publishes it is combined with an audience that she controls. So it's the combination of the two.
Thin marker, thick marker, pencil, pen, red, black, purple. Any of it, all of it.
Yeah. So you just post it. So you can understand it, so you can form your opinion on it.
Just keep posting, just keep posting.
You know, so you know what you are turning away from versus turning away from it unknowingly, you know?
Like you ain't gonna believe in it, at least try it out first.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the reason why you love your favorite music is because you listen to it all the time. And most of the stuff that you don't like, you don't listen to as much as you listen to the stuff that you like. So you got to listen to the stuff that you don't like as much as you listen to the stuff that you do like, so you can form an unbiased opinion on it. You don't have to like it. You got to give it a fair chance the way you give the chance to something that you do like.
Right.
It's like, oh, I really don't like this, but I really don't like it. I know the words, I know the songs, I listen to the albums, I I follow the story. You know what I'm saying? Like I have an informed opinion on this thing that I'm cool on it. I ain't just cool on it because I don't know. I've been taking it to the lab, and I ain't really rocking with it. Because I think this is the DNA of $1 per follower per month.
When you say a DNA of that, what you mean?
Like the root of it. Like ain't nobody making $1 per follower per month who don't believe that digital economics, creator economy is for them.
Right. And then doing it for no reason helps when the reason come or the money
yes,
come and the thing comes.
1,000.
So you ain't sitting there only doing it for the dollars.
1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. And this is one of our business structures and business models, is that this information and knowledge that we have as artists, entrepreneurs, and educators can be put into a system that people can tap into the information and subscribe to the information and get access to the information on an international scale.
International. The whole world can see.
You know what I mean? People gonna come and plug right in to get what we are sharing.
Right.
Which means we gotta share it.
Yeah.
We gotta share it so we can sell it. Because we ain't making enough money getting hired for sharing it. Yeah. But we really can tap into both forms of income. You know what I'm saying? We can get paid to share it. And then we can get paid even more to spread it. Like when they want to know how to spread the program, how do we grow the program? How do we make this bigger? We turn it into subscription based and tap other education programs into it and charge per class, per student, per month for access to this unique form of art, education, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So we can get you a backyard that you like.
Hell yeah. Now I'm gonna live on the other side of the fence. God, same. Or even like that post I sent you earlier. Just one story that go from one one carousel to the next.
What was it?
Being a good friend or something like that.
Oh yeah. So should I post I should post something with a carousel?
Mm-hmm.
You need a post, you need a carousel, you need a reel, you need a...
And then it's going to be amazing for you to look at those 90 quotes, because I scrolled I scrolled Twitter to count how many pink quotes you made. It was 90 of them. 60? It might have been 90. I'm pretty sure. Huh?
I know it was that many.
Yeah, I went down and I counted. and I'm pretty sure it's like 90, which means that's 3 months of just, one individual, which means you can run that through again, but it would be dope for you to repost as carousels and make each quote, like topic specific.
Where these quotes go under here.
Like you grab the quotes that's all about mom, or grab the quotes that's all about love, or all about grief. You know what I'm saying? And then your caption speaks to the group.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know?
Yep. Yep.
Because once you start organizing the content, you're going to realize you're going to keep repurposing it. It's just like we watch these commercials, and we watch one commercial and it's 6 minutes long, and then we see 10 versions of 10 to 20 to 30 seconds of that same commercial. All they did was took it from a YouTube video to cut it down to YouTube short, you know what I'm saying? Instagram.
How long can a YouTube short be?
I think the YouTube short is a minute, maybe a minute and a half.
Gotcha.
Anything more than whatever that is
Becomes a YouTube video.
It becomes a post, yep. It might be a minute. And one thing that I noticed, especially with TikTok, is once you start looking at the analytics and you realize that depending on your content and people's engagement, it's going to show you how many minutes or seconds that they watch.
Yeah.
Well, once you take that same video and make the maximum engagement length and post it again, if it's 12, if everybody watching this for 12 seconds and I had a 2-minute video, I pull 12-second clips out of that 2-minute video and post all 12 seconds. And then I watch the engagement. Because now when people engage for 12 seconds, they watching 98% of the video, which is sending your video in a higher pool of people watching it because it's got a higher watch time in terms of the percentage. See what I'm saying? We started learning that kind of shit. And it's like, oh, I can post this whole video
17 times with the 12 seconds.
Yeah, like I cut it all the way up and people can get the whole thing by watching all of the 12-second videos. And then I just watched, literally, I watched the plays go up to 1,500, 1,400, 1,300 from 600, 700. It's learning this shit, playing with it.
Happy Tuesday. This is crazy.
Okay, do I post that? These little carousels?
Mm-hmm.
It's 6 of them.
That's cool.
And then I'm gonna just go to my story. I gotta make it go to my story.
You want to post that.
No, I'm saying in addition.
But once you post it, then you can share it to your story. And you can share it to Twitter. You can share it to Facebook.
Threads, too.
And Threads. What's raw is I done found a scheduler that I like. It's called Metro Cool. So I got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I got a 5th. I said Twitter. And Twitter. So I got 5 accounts.
Threads, YouTube.
Not Threads.
Okay.
Instagram.
TikTok, YouTube.
Facebook.
Okay.
Twitter.
Gotcha.
So all those I'm logged in all of those. So I just go to a video and post, and you can post right now, or you can schedule when you wanted to post. You get 60 scheduled posts per month on a free account. So now I'm just getting in the rhythm of posting through the scheduler. So it's got me on all of the platforms less. Because I'm only on the platforms to post. And then if I look at something that somebody has said, then I might start to engage.
So if you got a 1-minute video for all 6 of them platforms, is that just 1 minute or is that 6 minutes?
1 minute, because it's about to post individually
Right.
that 1 minute video,
Okay.
and then you got some options to pick through the platform and say, do I want, like on Instagram, do you want this to be a post, a reel, or a story? You can pick that
On that website.
on this app. Then when you're on YouTube, it's like, do you want it to be a YouTube short, or do you want this to be a standard YouTube video?
And what did you call it?
Metricool. METRI cool.
Mm.
And then once I started using this, it made me want to organize my videos even better. You know, because I was making 1 minute short form videos, and then it would have text on it, but I wouldn't know what the video is when I'm scrolling through my photo library.
Mm-hmm.
So now out of CapCut, I'm going and making sure I'm creating the specific cover. So when I'm scrolling through my library, I can read what that video is about without even having to watch it.
Got you. So they really prepared.
Because I'm putting the words on there, and I'm using the words that are coming out of my mouth as the cover of the video.
That when Instagram did that.
Right.
Closed captions.
Right. But CapCut on the computer.
For one, a CapCut on the computer is crazy.
And it's got different features. Because CapCut on the computer, you can take a video and you can make it cut out all of the dead space. That shit is crazy. You can have an hour video and it will get rid of all of the blank space.
So you just have enough.
And then you hit return, and then boom. That's how when you watch some of these social media videos, the person is talking, they just chomping through the information because it ain't no dead space, ain't no pauses. You can delete all the pauses. But CapCut is free on the computer. Or, it's an extension if you already done paid for it, because it used to be free.
I paid $10 for it.
Right, if you paid $10 for it, you ain't got to pay another $10. You can just use it on your computer. What happened?
I can lose.
Yeah, do you know how amazing it would be? Don't you know the page? Do you follow the library mindset page, Nate?
I don't follow nothing.
It's shared. Yeah. Like, imagine if you was doing that with these books that you're reading.
Yeah. Because, we also deserve to see them, too.
Because you reading the stuff and you attracted to stuff, you like it or dislike
really
it.
like it.
You should just highlight it. Yeah, they highlight it, or they show you the 5 key takeaways, and then they at whoever the writer is, and then they talking about building a following through the world of writers.
You over there? Or you seen it?
I've seen something like that before.
Yep, library mindset. And a lot of times it's them taking pictures of the page, or they write on their own little sticky note, their own quote. That's what I'm saying. You can get content out of how much you read.
Yeah.
And just imagine what you would do to the world of writers and publishers if all of the poetry books that you done read, like, you would become a resource for your thoughts on the books. As a way to have people ready for whatever you are about to drop your next book.
Gotcha.
Like, so you ain't supposed to be doing nothing different than what you're already doing.
If you post every day until the date that your book comes out, then you'll be then posted 50,000 times
Right.
And then you'll be reposting those things that you already posted to get them to buy the book.
Right.
You don't have to make new stuff.
Yeah, imagine that
and then posting the images that DBlack take because we look better live. So you gotta get We need to see you too.
Are you gonna select what? Wait, say it again. Post it. If we look better alive. What?
We need some. You need to post some of them images that DBlack took because we look better alive.
Oh. But what images did he done took?
Of you.
Just tons of
Just
them.
and everything else that speak to you, those flowers that made you cry, and the books and the everything, and this chair and this that little logo lady that be sideways in the garage on the wall, and that wall that used to be right here, they used to have all the
Right.
words on it. Like I just don't understand. Like what everything that we done wrote, and then you done took a picture of so that you can remember all of that stuff is like just need to go to this new place, and then all of the other journals, and not just that new one, and then everything. And I know, and then you see that motherfucking bookshelf that don't got no more space on it. Like those books that we don't even know exist in the world. With those books that all the books that we ever read at sisterhood, books that little black girls need to read to talk about that.
I want to tap into the 800. What is it about 800? Is it 800,000 or the 800 banned books?
What's that?
All the banned books.
Because I remember looking them up some years ago.
Like a band for real?
No, a band like
band kind of like the girl was talking about.
Yeah. So I used to look up the titles, but I didn't know what to do with the titles. But part of me feel like we're supposed to reactivate the titles.
Right,
and then we're supposed to buy all of the banned books and photograph the cover of the banned books. Like the banned books is supposed to get another iteration.
Because if the culture Cleveland canceled it, that don't mean that the world still don't deserve to see them.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep. And the titles are quotes all in themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I love my hair. Ain't that one she said got blocked?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not 800,000. It's more like
800.
over. I mean, it's like probably 4,000.
I got you.
Yeah. Shit, heavy is banned.
Is it?
He said when that shit got
I remember
banned,
he said that.
he knew he made
He made it when they put it on the ban list. Right.
Yeah, we made it. Yep. And I feel like one of Jasmine Ward's is banned.
That's crazy. And what that mean? That mean that the writer world said this title is not appropriate?
No, it depends. It's like it won't be at libraries. It might not be at schools, colleges,
based on what?
grade schools.
Based on
the content and people thinking that it's a threat to society. You know, it's basically like fucking book discrimination.
Gotcha.
Or book racism type.
Yep.
You know.
And censorship.
Yeah.
Or
Like my book might be banned at a high school from the poem Bad Nurse type thing. Because they might see that as talking bad about the medical industry or the medical, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with these books. Saying the content is
threatening.
or, you know, dangerous.
Radical.
Yeah.
Very radical.
Yeah.
Acerbic.
All right. All right, we'll be back next week to talk about artists, entrepreneurship, and education.
And belief.
And belief.